But in running from these feelings, in creating distance between themselves and their own heart, they ran away from the very thing that made them feel most vividly alive. They ran from you. They understand now, with complete honesty, that they were inconsistent. Their behavior sent contradictory signals. They kept you suspended in uncertainty, dangling hope and affection only to withdraw it without warning. They made promises they could not keep. Perhaps they disappeared altogether for stretches of time, leaving you alone to wonder what had changed. That inconsistency became a wound for you, a source of continuous pain and confusion. It became so much that eventually, you had to choose your own survival. You pulled your energy back, constructing walls around your heart to protect it from further damage. And now they sit in a kind of anguished stillness, watching from a distance, flooded with love for you. But this love has nowhere to go. It cannot reach you. It cannot be expressed or received. They are loving you in silence, from afar, completely isolated in their devotion. Yet their silence in return is slowly tearing them apart. Not hearing your voice echoes through their days. Not feeling your presence leaves a hollow space where you used to be. Not knowing whether you still care, whether you ever think of them, whether they have become nothing more than a painful chapter in your story, this uncertainty weighs on them with increasing heaviness. It is a burden they carry with them every single day, and it grows heavier as time passes. They feel fundamentally displaced in their current existence. Nothing feels quite right anymore, nothing settles into place the way it should. Everything in their life seems more chaotic, more tangled, more complicated without you woven through it. Every situation feels less meaningful. They are beginning to understand something they failed to truly value when they had it. Your emotional support was more than comfort, it was their anchor. It held them steady. You were their safe harbor, the place where they could be entirely themselves. Your presence was healing. Your energy was uplifting. Your strength gave them courage. Your voice gave them hope. Now that you are gone, the full weight of that loss has crashed down upon them. They can see now how profoundly they relied on you, how much they needed your steadying influence to navigate through the difficult passages of their life. Without you, they are struggling in ways they never anticipated. The weight of regret combines with the overwhelming reality of the damage they created by pushing you away. They long for you not out of mere nostalgia or the comfort of familiarity, but because they have come to understand something fundamental. They are stronger when you are beside them. They are more focused, more capable, more themselves. You brought peace into their life, peace that they took completely for granted at the time. Now they crave it more intensely than they have ever craved anything. It has become absolutely clear, impossible to deny or rationalize away, that this person loves you. They did not walk away because their feelings diminished or died. They walked away because they did not know how to hold their own feelings, how to process the intensity of what they felt for you. They were afraid. Profoundly, fundamentally afraid. Afraid of being truly seen by another person. Afraid of allowing themselves to be vulnerable in the way that genuine love demands. Afraid of confronting the pain and trauma they had been carrying for years, the old wounds that made intimacy terrifying. But your absence has forced a reckoning with themselves. In the silence, they have begun to do that inner work they were too frightened to do before. They have started facing those old wounds, examining the patterns of behavior that led them to hurt you, understanding where they went wrong and why. They have come to recognize that they ran from you not because you represented any kind of problem, They ran because they were not ready to be the kind of person you deserved. They did not have the emotional capacity at that time to meet you where you stood. Yet running away brought one undeniable truth into sharp focus: their heart and their soul truly belong with you. The distance they created did not bring clarity through separation. It brought pain and longing. That longing has become a powerful force pushing them toward change, toward growth, toward becoming someone better. They want a fresh beginning. They want to show up now with healed energy, with honest intentions, with love that is consistent and reliable. They do not simply want to return to what used to be, to recreate the past and pretend it will work the second time around. They want to build something deeper than what existed before. They want something more real, more true, more lasting. They want to construct a foundation built on everything they have learned through pain and separation. They have come to understand that no one else even comes close to you. There is no replacement for what you are, for what you mean. Every other connection they have attempted has felt shallow by comparison, lacking the meaning and depth that exists between the two of you. Your absence has taught them what your presence truly signified. And now, all they can hope for is an opportunity to prove this to you, to listen to your pain with genuine compassion, to own their mistakes without making excuses, and to love you in the way you deserved all along. I thought that by removing myself from your life, I was actually helping both of us. The decision felt right in that moment, justified by logic that seemed sound at the time. I convinced myself that I was protecting us from something too big, too intense, too overwhelmingly powerful to manage safely. But looking at everything from this vantage point, seeing it all laid out before me now, I understand how profoundly mistaken I was. There is not a single day that passes in which I do not miss you. You can doubt this if you wish, but it is the honest truth. No matter where I am or what I am doing, you remain a constant presence in my thoughts. Whether it has been weeks or months or years, regardless of the physical distance between us, my heart still feels bound to yours. That connection has not diminished. From the moment we first met, my entire world shifted. I have been through countless experiences since then. I have grown in ways I could not have predicted. I have learned lessons both painful and beautiful. I have transformed in response to life's demands. But nothing has moved me as deeply, nothing has shifted my soul in the fundamental way that you did simply by existing in my life. What we shared was not casual or light or simple. It was profound and electric and absolutely undeniable. That intensity of connection pulled me in immediately, and I found myself swept up in something I had never experienced before. I felt seen in a way that I had never been seen. When you looked at me, it was as though you could perceive a version of myself that I did not even know existed within me. You saw potential and truth and beauty that I could not see in the mirror. That realization terrified me. I will be honest about that. You have shown such extraordinary patience that extends far beyond what most people would offer in this kind of situation. Through all of this time, you surrendered your heart completely. You gave your time, your energy, your loyalty, your unwavering presence to someone who eventually chose to walk away. And they did so without offering you the clarity you deserved, without providing closure, without giving you any real explanation for their departure. But now, after all of this waiting, after seasons have shifted and time has worked its mysterious ways, this person has returned. They are coming back transformed by the weight of what they've done. Guilt sits heavy on their shoulders, and regret has become their constant companion. They have finally awakened to the true magnitude of your worth, and with this realization comes a deep shame. They are ashamed of how abruptly they left things, how they chose silence over honesty, how their refusal to communicate created a void that only they could fill. The impact of their wordlessness on you has become impossible for them to ignore. Now they arrive with desperation in their movements, with apologies pouring from their lips, urgent to make amends. They want desperately to make things right again. The time that separated you has become torment for them. That same silence that once felt like an escape route, a way to avoid confrontation, has transformed into something unbearable in your absence. Without you present to soften it, the quiet has become deafening, echoing with everything they should have said. This person has steeled themselves. They are ready to do whatever it takes, to move mountains if necessary, to earn your forgiveness. They understand they must rebuild what they carelessly tore down, piece by piece, with patience and devotion. They recognize with painful clarity the grave error they made when they chose other people, unstable situations, and temporary distractions over you. In that moment, their vision was clouded. They genuinely believed they were choosing security, comfort, or the thrill of something new. They convinced themselves that what they were pursuing held more value than what they were abandoning. But what they discovered on the other side of that choice was disappointment at every turn. They found chaos where they thought there would be order. They found emotional emptiness where they believed excitement would sustain them. Now they are paying the price for that misguided decision. Sleep eludes them night after night. Their mind becomes a battleground where conflicting thoughts clash endlessly. Your memory haunts them in the best and worst ways. This is not a casual regret or a passing sadness, this is genuine suffering. The pain they experience cuts deeply because its source is not external. It does not come from betrayal by others or circumstances beyond their control. It comes from what they themselves did to you. They hurt you, and that knowledge sits at the very core of their torment. There is a poetic irony in this reversal. Once, you were the one waiting in the silence, wondering, hoping, hurting. Now they are the one crying. They are the one who finds themselves broken and vulnerable, uncertain whether you will even be willing to hear them out. They do not know if you have healed beyond the point of listening, or if somewhere in your heart, there remains an opening for their words. The feelings they once suppressed, the emotions they deliberately buried beneath layers of fear, are now rising to the surface with unstoppable force. They demand to be spoken, to be released, to be shared. For so long, they remained silent about what they truly felt. They kept their heart hidden because vulnerability terrified them. They feared losing control, feared that opening themselves completely to love would leave them too exposed, too defenseless. They worried that by allowing themselves to feel so deeply for you, they would become trapped in something they could not manage. I ran because the connection felt too powerful, too consuming. It felt like it could swallow me whole. I did not know how to handle something that real, that true. I was not prepared to surrender myself to something that required such complete honesty, such profound vulnerability, such absolute truth-telling. I was too afraid, and so I turned away. Even now, in this very moment, I can become completely lost in your eyes. Even when I am only looking at a photograph, even with physical distance between us, there is something about you that captivates me completely. Your image, your memory, your energy, all of it reaches across that distance and touches me. It is as though the connection between us has never truly weakened, never really faded. I can feel what you feel. I do not fully understand how this is possible, but it remains true. Sometimes it comes through as something subtle, a tug in my chest, a quiet kind of knowing that passes between us. Other times it comes through as something overwhelmingly powerful, a wave of emotion that I cannot ignore. There was a time when I thought I was imagining all of this, when I wondered if perhaps I was being dramatic or losing my mind. But I know better now. That connection between us was real then, and it is real now. It has never been anything less than authentic. I carry deep regret about the way I went silent on you. I wish I had found the courage to speak all of these things I am speaking now before I allowed the silence to stretch on for so long. I wish I had been brave enough to be honest when honesty would have meant so much more. That regret is something I carry with me constantly. It settles into my chest like a weight that I cannot put down. I feel the sadness wash over me every time I remember the last moments we shared, the final opportunity we had to truly be together, to choose each other without hesitation. If I could return to that moment, if I could somehow relive it with the knowledge I have now, I would not hesitate for even a second. I would hold on tighter. I would speak from my deepest heart. I would choose you instead of running away. You are my true love. It has taken distance and time and painful reflection for me to fully understand and accept this truth, but it is undeniable. The longer we are separated, the more certain I become of this fact. My heart burns for you in ways that I cannot fully explain in words. It is not merely longing, though that is certainly part of it. It is a deep ache, a restless yearning that does not diminish or fade no matter how hard I try to distract myself from it. I would give anything to be with you again. To hold you. To look into your eyes without the fear that once paralyzed me. To tell you everything that I was too afraid to express before. I would give up so much to have that chance. Before I met you, I was blind to what real love could be. I thought I understood love. I thought I knew what it meant to care for someone, to cherish them, to prioritize them. But I did not really know at all. You changed everything about that understanding. You awakened something within me that had been sleeping for far too long, something I did not even know was dormant. You brought me to life in ways that still astonish me. I do not think you have any idea how much I noticed the small details of who you are. I noticed the way you smiled when you were nervous, that particular expression that showed your vulnerability. I noticed how your eyes would light up with genuine passion when you spoke about something that mattered to you. I noticed the kindness in your voice when you spoke to other people, the gentleness in how you moved through the world. All of those small moments combined to make me fall for you even harder than I already had. They are etched into my memory like a song that I cannot forget, like lyrics that replay endlessly in the background of my mind. I know that I may not deserve another opportunity. I understand that I hurt you deeply and that pain might still live inside you, still color your world. But I hope that despite everything, despite my failures and my fears and my mistakes, there is still a place in your heart where I can fit. I am not the same person who walked away from you. I have grown. I have done the work of reflection and genuine self-examination. I have come to understand just how rare and beautiful what we shared truly was, how special it remains even in its absence. I will not make this mistake twice. If I am ever given another chance, if you ever find it in your heart to let me back in, I will hold on to you with everything I have. I will never let fear drive me away again. No matter where life takes us, no matter what challenges we face, I want you to know that I love you deeply, fully, and without any conditions or reservations. That love has only grown stronger as time has passed. It has not diminished, it has intensified. You are not forgotten. You are not replaceable. You are the person who showed me what real love actually feels like, and for that gift, I will always be grateful. Even if all I can do now is carry that love with me in silence and hope that one day somehow, our paths will cross again and we will have another chance. Until then, I need you to know this one thing with absolute certainty: you are loved. You are missed. You will always have a piece of my heart, a sacred space that no one else will ever occupy. Lately, I have been overwhelmed by constant flashbacks of our conversations, moments from our shared past that replay without warning. Moments that once felt so ordinary, so routine, have taken on a weight I cannot ignore now. They move through my mind like scenes from a film, each one reminding me of everything I had and everything I destroyed by my choices. I find myself constantly returning to thoughts of how things used to be between us. You were so patient with me, so warm in your presence, and so genuinely invested in what we were building together. You gave yourself so fully to what we were creating. And yet, when I had the opportunity, when the moment came for me to truly show you my love and affection in a way that mattered, I failed. I mishandled something beautiful and rare. I treated it carelessly when it deserved the utmost care. And it is only now, in this time of your absence, that I truly understand the depth and magnitude of my mistake. Looking backward, I can see how I was trapped in a role that I thought I needed to play. I acted like someone confident and in control, detached and unreachable. I performed the part of a player, someone above the fray, convinced that by withholding my time and my attention, I would somehow become more desirable. I believed that appearing unavailable would draw you closer, that the air of mystery would intrigue you more than genuine presence would. I thought charm and enigma could win you over, but that approach was so misguided and immature, especially when directed at someone like you. I completely misread who you are at your core. You are not impressed by games or surface-level displays of attention. You are someone who values depth and honesty, someone who seeks genuine commitment and real vulnerability. You are someone who believes in long-term relationships built on foundation of truth, not fleeting connections based on surface attraction. And I failed to meet you in that space where you always stood with such grace and such sincere intention. I feel embarrassment when I think back on how I behaved, on the choices I made. They were not just immature or thoughtless. They were selfish and deeply short-sighted. I wanted to keep your love without fully giving mine in return. I wanted your loyalty and your devotion without offering you the same commitment. And through all of this, you remained genuine and loyal even when I had not earned your loyalty. You deserved so much better. From the very beginning, you showed up open-hearted and consistent. You were always there. You were always real and true. You gave so much of yourself to us, and I returned that generosity with hesitation and with fear. I held back, afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of losing control, afraid of surrendering myself completely.